Hello. There will be a unfortunate two-part video that will be coming up soon. I hope. I had some technical difficulties and food difficulties, I suppose you could call it. Unintentionally cutting a video short, and so I started over where I left off. It was an unintentional two-parter, but I did it on my laptop and it's not letting me upload for some reason to YouTube. I am going to be doing this video on my phone to make it easier to upload this one. I had promised to update you and make a video after I had received the cremation remains of Lucretia, and I got them a little while back actually, but I've been busy. I got sick. I had been sick for a bit there. I had been sick during the week that I ended up having to put her down. I decided I would pull out the other 4 cremation remains that I have of some of my previous animals that I had. I also brought out, this is a photo scrap album, which I intend to search through a little bit and maybe give you a little see at each one of these that I have that was not Lucretia. You will find that I have had a lot of animals that kind of looked the same. Lucretia and my dog Lucky looked very much similar, and they looked a lot like another dog I had. Her name was Precious. So, and then I've got Misty outside as well, who looked like her mama a lot. And obviously there's Ducky, who looks a little bit different, but pretty much he looks similar to them. But I've got a few that look similar to each other. The Lucretia looks a lot like a couple other dogs that I've had in the past. Anyway, so I thought I would start off. I've got 3 that were cremated when I lived in Oklahoma as a teenager, and Lucky, I lived in Oklahoma with him, but he was still alive when moved to Texas, and he lived here with us for a good number of years before he died, in which he was cremated. So his cremation box and Lucretia's cremation box looks different from the other 3 that I have over here. So I wanted to go ahead and just do this and get to Lucretia last because she is the most recent. And unfortunately, I noticed some of these we do not have the dates on. And I honestly do not remember the exact dates on a couple of these. But here we are. So the ones from Oklahoma came in this little bag right here. Yes, it's a little bit dirty. They've been up in my closet for some time. It says, until we meet again at the Rainbow Bridge as you can see. These came with a little brochure. I believe all of them did. We got this girl holding her dog. It says, how we feel. Right? And when you open it, all the way like this, it goes into the human-animal bond and then explains the grieving process. Over here we have obviously a depiction of somebody that has just recently lost their dog and how upset they are, how lost they are. Why don't I just go on ahead and read it while I'm at it. It says, how we feel when a person dies. Family, friends, and relatives pay the respects at the family home or funeral parlor. There is a funeral where sorrow and tears are accepted, even expected. Afterward, during the mourning period, friends and relatives assist and comfort grieving family members until their grief subsides and new routines develop. Unfortunately, when a pet dies, here is no social ritual to formalize the grief. Even members of the immediate family and intimate friends do not fully understand your feelings associated with the loss of a loved pet. Still, the loss of a pet affects our emotions, all the more so if the pet was an integral part of the family. These feelings usually progress through several stages. Recognize them can help cope with the grief we feel. The significant human-animal bond. In the past several years, there has been an explosion of interest and concern about human-animal bonds. Because of this enthusiasm, we have begun to understand the nature, strength, and significance of bonds that develop between humans and their non-human companions. For instance, it is typical for a pet to be perceived as and treated as a member of the family. As a result of this perception, the subsequent feelings and behavior, animals provide special and beneficial relationships for many owners. The grieving process. It says the loss of a loved one, human or pet, causes emotional pain and characteristic behavior that is classified as grief. The model for various forms of grief is the typical response to the death of a human by members of that person's family. The death and dying of a family pet causes a pet owner to respond in a fashion similar to that expected when a human loved one dies. We grieve over the death of a pet. This reaction is only natural. Our feelings toward pets are so special that experts have a term for the relationship: the human companion-animal bond. When this bond is severed, the sense of loss can be overwhelming. Society does not offer a grieving pet owner a great deal of sympathy. Even a close friend may comment, "It's only a dog or just a cat. You can always get another." Such a reaction would be heartless, given the loss of a human friend or family member. And it is generally recognized that a person who has experienced such a loss needs the support of friends and relatives. Psychologists now acknowledge that we need as much support, but get far less with the loss of a companion animal. The final separation, questions and concerns. After the pet's actual death, the owner's feelings about the animal's ultimate disposal may vary greatly. Preferences tend to be based on experiences with the death of human loved ones. Options for disposing of an animal's body vary widely and might be well known to veterinarians, but they are probably not well known to most pet owners. A veterinarian can therefore take the initiative to discuss all the options, whether or not the client asks for the information. thus enabling the client to make an informed choice. Resolution of the client's grief can be aided if the pet's disposal is in keeping with the client's preference, if any. Options: home burial, although done, is to be discouraged due to city ordinances, constant reminder of pet and death, and possibility of moving away. Rural burial is a setting where good times were shared. Landowner permission should be obtained and precaution taken against the likelihood of wild animals being attracted by the scent and digging at the gravesite. Some cities provide disposal services for deceased pets. Pet cemeteries. Evidence of pet burials are at least as old as the pharaohs in ancient Egypt, whose cemetery for cats at Luxor existed when the Old Testament was being written. Early Chinese emperors maintained a dog cemetery at Peking with tombstones of marble, lapis lazuli, ivory, silver, and gold. Later, Queen Victoria had a cemetery on the Isle of Wight in which her beloved dogs were interred. And the city of Paris has a large pet cemetery on an island in the sea. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce this. In the Seine for many centuries. I hope I am not mispronouncing that. Even in America, a recent archaeological excavation at the Coster site in southern Illinois indicates that dogs had been buried with ritual significance as long as 7,000 years ago. Today, there are many pet cemeteries in the United States and Europe, and their popularity is growing rapidly. Prior to selecting a pet cemetery, the pet owner should verify that safeguards are in place against the land being used for other purposes and with funding to provide perpetual care. Cemetery burial. The professional pet cemetery has several functions. It allows the pet owner to participate in a physical separation from the deceased family pet. It provides a grieving person with the comfort of knowing the pet's final resting place, and it provides a place of solitude for visitation. There can be great comfort derived from doing for a pet what would be done for a beloved human family member. Individual cremation. The cost of individual cremation is less than that of a cemetery burial, yet it is affordable to many pet owners, and for some, seems to be an aesthetic appeal preferable to burial. The pet's individual remains are inurned in an attractive urn. The cemetery stocks a complete line of bronze and wood deluxe urns. Now this says Pet Memorial Memory Gardens, a dignified alternative, pet cemetery and crematory is what it says back here. Playing with the dog back here. And then, I'm not going to read these because everybody knows kind of the stages of grief, or at least they should. But it goes on with the stages of grief here, from denial, bargaining, anger, grief, and resolution. We've got this person here clearly upset because they had a dog that apparently they had lost at some point. So I think this was a kind of cool little information brochure that they sent out with these. Now this one happens to be double check. This happens to be one of the cats that I used to have that we managed to get cremated. This is the box that he came back in. Now it does say knothead, but because that was technically his name at the vet. And he also went by Buddy. We called him Buddy all the time. Called him Buddy Boy. You can see here. You can take this off if you want to, but I'm not going to. So this Buddy Boy. He was such a good boy. He was such a good boy. So as you can see, this one doesn't have dates listed on there. He was such a good boy. He was such a big boy. Oh, I miss him. Now, as for a photo, let me see if I can find one of them. Oh, there she is. Oh, there they are. And there they are. Where is my Buddy? Oh, there he is. She has a couple photos of Buddy. So, this, I hope you can see it, is Buddy. As you can see, he was a gray kitty cat with a little bit of white. And he was very, very proud of himself. He was a very proud boy. That, I believe, was also him right there. Pretty certain that was him. That's not him. Oh, I don't think that was him. Oh, wait. Is that? I think that was him too, but that photo's a little too small. And here you can see him. As you can see, he's a very proud boy. Very proud. He doesn't care one little bit. He didn't care one little bit about showing off his stuff. He's a good boy. Very good boy. Okay, so this next one right here, I'm not doing this in any particular order, just so you know. I'm just the ones in Tulsa, and then aside from those in Tulsa, and then those most recent, this is not in any particular order otherwise. So again, the same bag, which has these ties right here on them. This is another cat. As you can see, the Pet Memorial Memory Gardens, and basically sent these out in all of them. As you can see, a similar cheap box, cheapish box. This one does have dates. Trixie. She was such a wild but good girl. Daddy's girl. There's a reason for that. She loved my dad. We all called her my dad's girlfriend. So this was my dad's mistress. My dad's affair mate. She was a big girl too, man. She was sitting in a chair. Okay, so when you sit in a chair, just standing, not on her hind legs. Okay, she's not standing on her hind legs, but just standing. But standing on the legs. She made it all the way to just under the chin. Just under the chin. Trixie was a really good girl as well, but ooh, that attitude. She had such attitude. Oh my goodness. I have found that female cats have a lot of it. Female cats have a lot of attitude. It may not be just cats now that I think about it. I haven't had very many dogs that have had attitude when they're I haven't had very many females dogs that have attitude, but Misty and Yuki out there, they have some attitude actually. So let me see. Try to find Trixie. Oh, there she is. Here's Trixie eating. This was Trixie right here. White and gray. That was Trixie. Do I have any more of Trixie in this? I hope I do. I have an idea. Because that was the only one I saw in there. But there's bound to be. Oh. Found one. Okay. There she is, laying with my dad. I did say that was his girlfriend. That's my dad's mistress right there. I hate that, but yeah, that's her. Okay, now heading back. I'm sure I know there are other photos of her. I'm just not 100% positive where to look for them right now. So I think my mom has a lot of photo albums, and I know that there are photos of Trixie. I saw them recently, like just a few months ago. I saw them, but I'm not entirely sure where. I'm not sure which album and where. My goodness. Alright, and so this one is a dog. I can tell you that. This one's a dog without opening it. Again, see the string. This one is my dog Christy. Take that out. She wasn't a Siberian Husky, by the way. She was not a Siberian. But a Husky. She was a Husky. I cut some of her fur when I had cut some of her fur back then. I don't know if you can really make out really much, but I see some of that has come out. Some of this is kind of broken a little bit, but Christy, she was my baby. She's my little princess. This is much heavier. Again, no dates. As you can see, this one's kind of open because it's broken. So I've got some peanuts kind of in here, because the peanuts were added in here to take up space inside the box. Don't mind my baby blanket. Don't mind my baby blanket at all. I got her when I was about 5.5 to 6 years old. along with her sister, which was technically my brother's dog, but obviously, oh, there they are as puppies. So my first two dogs right here, This is my Christy. This is Precious. As I said, I have had quite a few dogs that look similar to this. This is my Christy right here. There's Precious. Again, Precious. Which I do not have cremated, unfortunately. Here's a couple photos of Christy. She was a very pretty girl. And then I've got right there both of them, Christy and her sister Precious. Also more puppy photos of Christy and Precious. You're probably going to see this page again, I can tell you that. You're probably going to see a couple of these pages a couple times, because I don't have these in any particular grouping. So here's my Christy. That one's a blurry photo, but Christy. Christy again, all on this page with me and her. Christy, right there with me. Buddy, my knothead. And for good measure, there is one other photo that I can show you that I know directly where it's at. Now this has been blown up. This one has been blown up. That was me. And that was Christy. That was not long after I first got her. Two in this photo are no longer here. Unfortunately, so that photo is particularly precious because two in that photo are no longer here. And obviously I am here, so the other one was that person was my dad, so my dad and Christy. Okay, so Lucky. Now I had Lucky in Oklahoma, as I said before. This has the date he died on it, which was just a few days before I ended up keeping Lucretia, because he was very, very sick and he wasn't doing so well. But when she just started coming around over about a month or two, quite a few weeks, not 100% positive just exactly how long, but I know it was a little while. And anytime she was there, he looked like he was trying to be more active. He was trying to play more. He looked like he felt a little bit better. He seemed much happier. But just a few days after we decided to go on ahead and keep Lucretia, ended up finding out what was actually wrong with him, which the vet refused over and over and over again to do any extra testing. We knew that there was something wrong with him that was not being treated, and the vet refused to do any extra testing for a very long time. And finally we got him there, and on one of his really, really, really bad days, because every time we scheduled a vet visit, he wasn't on one of these bad days. Finally we decided, oh well, there isn't a appointment, but we're taking him anyway to let them see what we have been seeing and exactly what we've been saying, that there was something else wrong with him. And they took him and they did extra testing that we were wanting them to do and they had been refusing to do, and they discovered that he had a vesicular cancer. Look at this box though. Ignore some of those scratches. There are some scratches on here. And look at this box. It's a very nice box. Lucky. October 5th of 2015. So I had Lucretia since 2015. Okay, so that was Lucky. That was Lucky right there. As you can see, he looks quite a lot like Lucretia and Misty did. These two of these photos, that one right there is Lucky, right there giving me licking kisses. That one's Lucky right there. That he was such a... So Lucky was a very good boy. He was a very good boy. Alright, so for the grand finale, I suppose is the best way to put it. My goodness, he was heavy. Maybe it's just the box, but he's heavy. But Christy was heavy as well. So this is the bag that I got with Lucretia. It says Tooth Acres Pet Care Center, Crematorium and Cemetery. As you can see, a gift bag. A gift bag. What a wonderful idea. So I sent this. It's a certificate for Lucretia. I had it facing the wrong way, I believe. A certificate. In loving memory of Lucretia, a faithful friend, having brought joy and devotion to your family, was respectfully cremated by Tooth Acres Pet Crematory and Cemetery. There's this pen right here. Just this side of heaven is a place called the Rainbow Bridge. When an animal dies that has been especially close to someone here, that pet goes to the bridge. There are meadows and hills for all our special friends, so they can run and play together. There is plenty of food, water, and sunshine, and our friends are warm and comfortable. All the animals who had been ill and old.
What?
When an animal dies that has been especially close to someone here, that pet goes to the bridge. There are meadows and hills for all our special friends so they can run and play together. There's plenty of food, water, and sunshine, and our friends are warm and comfortable. I know I've already read this, but I was interrupted for a second. All the animals who had been ill and old are restored to health and vigor. Those who were hurt or maimed are made whole and strong again, just as we remember them in our dreams of days and times gone by. The animals are happy and content, except for one small thing. They miss someone very special to them, who had to be left behind. They all run and play together, but the day comes when some suddenly stop and look into the distance. Suddenly, they begin to run from the group, flying over the green grass, their legs carrying them faster and faster. You have been spotted, and when you and your special friends finally meet, you cling together in joyous reunion, never to be parted again. The happy kisses rain upon your face, your hands again caress the beloved heads, and you look once more into the trusting eyes of your pets, so long from your life but never absent from your heart. Then you'll cross the rainbow bridge together. That's what that says there with that pen. They also had a little brochure, which I don't think I'm going to read this. It says coping with the loss of your pet. So it goes over with grief. So there's this part, yeah. I'm not going to take this to the cow, but that's that. I'm not entirely sure where Lucky's cloth is, but Lucretia got one as well. So I'm sure Lucky. I think Lucky is supposed to have one somewhere, but I don't know exactly where. See, here's Lucretia's cloth. Ooh, she's just as heavy. And Lucretia from 2015 to 2026. So, looks pretty much the same. Looks pretty much the same as Lucky's, as you can see. So put her back in this. Tighten her back up. So let me double check what they're actually. The date on this was the 11th. So, I think that's when, the 11th, I think that's probably when we took her to, have it done. I don't think I have any of her in here, because all of these were the others, a bunch of the others that I've had, which, there's a lot. I'm not going to flip through the entire thing for you, so, well, that's her. I got her back, but, not in a way that I would have wanted her to come back, but so I'm gonna try and figure out why I can't get the other, basically 2-part video on taste testing something. I'm gonna try to figure out why I can't get that uploaded for my laptop, and try to get it fixed and get it where I can upload it as soon as possible. Although I'm not entirely sure how long it will really take, because I am kind of illiterate in that way, in that way, so I'm probably gonna have to get some assistance with it and figuring it out. Unless it just magically fixes itself again, like one of the last videos that I tried to do when this happened. So, until next video that I am able to upload.